Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. What's up, you guys? So this video is a bit surprising to me because I normally make videos on Thursdays, like pretty consistently, but it's Sunday and you know, I've been going through some personal things that I kind of had to meditate on pretty heavily to kind of like resolve. And I thought what I discovered would be helpful to you all, and I couldn't wait until Thursday. Plus, I wanted to tell you while it was still fresh on my mind, on my heart. So, essentially, I've let me tell you what the topic is, because there's a certain word that I want to say before I just jump right in. So the word that I want to say is duality. Duality, which I'm sure is a word you may have heard before, but I know I've heard it many times before. But duality is something that I did not really fully understand until this pandemic hit the world. And I found myself very often feeling two very different emotions at the same time. So I would find myself, and this brings me to this current moment. Lately, I have been feeling, waking up in the morning, I open up my eyes, and this is new in the last few weeks, feeling very anxious, right? Like my heart, the main symptom is I'm feeling this flutter in my heart. My heart is just beating really, really fast. And the more I think about it, the more anxious I become. I've prayed on it. I've meditated on it for this entire like 2 week span. I think it's been like 2 weeks, like every day, just waking up feeling anxious and not knowing why. Normally, I have a good indicator. I'm like, okay, I've been making changes to my diet. I've been drinking like only water and green tea lately. Like I've been doing a lot of like changes, I guess, trying to find my happiest self or my most healthy self, my most optimal self. I've been trying to take better care of my body. Like, like as a dancer, sometimes certain things hurt or certain things need some extra attention. So I've been trying to just really like take inventory of myself in kind of every way. And I found myself, the main point was, I think I already said it, anxious, but the duo part, that's one layer. I was feeling very anxious, but then I would meditate and I would instantly feel calm. And then the rest of the day, I would feel anxious and calm, like both feelings at the same time. So yes, my heart is fluttering at certain moments, kind of often, not all the time, but like at certain moments. Yet I know that God's got my back. I know that the universe is my friend. I know that I'm okay physically. I know that I'm in good health. I know that I have so many amazing things to be grateful for. Like, I have these tools that I've cultivated over the last like few, I don't even know, like years of my life, where I know meditation works for me. I know reading good books works for me. I know calling a friend and telling them how I'm feeling or a loved one works for me. I know being by myself, isolating from the world, works for me. Like, I know there's a lot of different tactics I can try. I know getting more sleep works. So it's like I'm doing everything in my power in my self-care bag. And I still at baseline feel anxious and calm. And that disturbed me a lot. I mean, no one really knew unless I told them. But I finally meditated this morning, and I feel like my meditation, like God, because I think God speaks to us through all of our meditation practice. At least for me, I feel like it's like literally like God just starts talking to me. God revealed to me that even though you feel anxious and calm, at least there's calm in there. That I'll say that one more time. Even though you may feel anxious and you keep feeling anxious and you don't know what it is, and you're doing everything in your power to take care of yourself and, settle that, there's still calm in there. There's still happiness. There's still peace in there, because it don't have to be there. And there are people who have been anxious for many months, many years, maybe their entire lives. And I haven't been feeling anxious for quite some time. This is something I've struggled with at different stages of my life, but I haven't struggled with it for 2020. I was almost never anxious, not very much, thankfully. Like, knock on wood or whatever. Like, I didn't feel a whole lot of anxiety because I stayed prayed up, meditated up, I did as much as I could to combat that. But once I started to feel anxious again, I felt like I was doing something wrong. And these perfectionist tendencies started to pop back out. And that's something I also struggle with. And the beauty of just that simple thought, at least there's still calm in there. At least you still find some joy. At least you still have some peace you can cling to. You are still able to count your blessings, even still, in spite of. Yeah, that kind of, the butterflies and the heart, my heart immediately like calmed down, and I found myself dancing around the house again. And I found myself in much lighter spirits. And so, and also I have to say, I was reading this book. I'm reading a book. There's this really cool book called Reincarnation Blues that I'm reading. It's a fiction novel, which I haven't read fiction in a really long time. And in this book, there are a lot of cool takeaways about this. I'm not spoiler free, but basically this person, Reincarnation Blues, this person is reincarnated in all these different ways, at the different living creatures, different people, different times. And each time they discover something about themselves and about life. And it just made me think, like, life is such a complicated, beautiful, nuanced, forever changing thing. And I am happy about all of it, including this anxiety, including the duality that I'm feeling, this anxious calm, because it's okay. And like, you're not going to feel like sunshine and rainbows all the time, but it's what you do in spite of how you feel. That's what made me bring the book up. I read a passage where it was one life where he felt, the character felt, he had this urge of being violent. And right before he died, instead of, he was driving his truck, and there was a bus of children on one side, and there was like a ditch on the other. And he was tempted, should I just crash into the children and probably survive, or turn into the ditch? And he decided, even though he had a very violent past, he had tended to hurt animals, and he just had this violent streak and enjoyed being a butcher and all these like very graphic things, he decided to turn off into the ditch, off into his death. And in the afterlife, I know this is a book, it's a very interesting book, but I do recommend it. In the afterlife, they said, what did you think about that? And he was like, I didn't do my best. And they said, well, give yourself some credit. You did decide to go into the ditch. In spite of everything, we thought that was some progress. And it just reminded me that it's what you do in spite of your circumstances. It's not necessarily having the perfect circumstances. It's having the things that you're going through and still being kind. Having the things that you're going through and still counting your blessings. Having the things that you're going through and still smiling. And that was another thing I got out of this meditation. It was like, I wrote it down. Oh, you can smile yourself out of anything. I'm not talking about with other people. I'm talking about whatever you're feeling, whatever negative feeling that you are feeling, you can smile your way out of it. You can keep smiling and keep choosing joy and keep just cultivating joy, and you will feel a little bit better, if not a lot. You might only feel this much better, but the fact that we have the power to make ourselves feel better, it's just a gift. It's a gift. So this video has gone on long enough. I just had to share it with y'all and also process. So thank you for giving me the space to do that. I'm still gonna be bringing y'all life-changing reviews and resources, but I also want to continue to bring you guys messages from my heart and things that I think are relevant. So I love y'all. I hope you have a wonderful week, month, life. You know, take care of yourself, drink your water, and be kind to yourself. If we all are kind to ourselves, then the world is that much kinder. It starts with self. So, take care.